Hi everybody, this is your daily tarot reading for Tuesday the 13th of June. Thank you very much for joining me. It's a pleasure to be with you. I love doing these readings for you guys, so thank you for joining me. I'm using the Archeon Tarot today. So I have shuffled the cards and I'm going to choose 3 cards to give you an insight into the day's energy. I like this deck because the colors come out so wonderfully on camera. They don't look as good live as they do on camera, so you're getting the best version of these cards. Okay, so loads of masculine energy. We have the Knight of Wands, we have the Herald of Pentacles, and we have the King of Wands. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. First of all, the Knight of Wands is extreme, and the Knight of Wands in this deck is really sexy and hot, actually. The Knight of Wands is a court card. Court cards go from page to knight and then king and queen. Page is someone who's inexperienced, and knight is someone who is more experienced but hasn't mastered things quite yet. So he's extreme. He's very passionate and he's reckless at times, and when he feels something, he acts on it. So it's an energy of major passion, major energy, and it's uncontrolled. It's like, let's say you have a passion for something. Oh my God, I want to play tennis. But you've got a whole day of appointments and you say, this is a desire I've got right now. I need to play tennis. So instead of going to your appointments, which have been scheduled, you go and play tennis. You get a loads of angry emails because you didn't tell people you weren't appearing. You just followed a desire. You can't do that. It's too extreme. It'll cause problems for you. So that's the example. I think that's a fair example in the sense that if you follow the energy of the Knight of Wands and you just go with every desire you have, it's likely that you get yourself into trouble in some way. So it's important to keep an eye on your feelings and make sure that you're not swept up and that you're not taking risks or you're doing something that potentially could blow up in your face or that's a real problem, okay? The next card is the Herald of Pentacles, and this is like, it's interesting because the Herald of Pentacles, Herald is like Mercury, it's like a messenger. And the Herald of Pentacles delivers a message that has to do with money and belongings and finance. There's a trumpet there, so you're receiving a message about your money, about your finances, about how to change your financial situations. If you're off gallivanting and traipsing around, delving into every passion and fire that you've got, then you're thinking in the short term and you're amusing yourself in the here and now, but you're not listening to the message which really are about you in the long term and how to build security and structure in your life. The next card we've got is the King of Wands. The King of Wands has mastered his emotions. He is now a very passionate man who is able to be passionate and who has found a way to be passionate, but he is not ruled by his passions and desires. So he can use his passion and create a wonderful picture. He can use his passion and be with his romantic partner and make love and have a wonderful experience. He can be passionate and write and create wonderful, beautiful words, but he can do that when the time is right. He can manage his passion so that they don't make his life unmanageable and they don't cause problems for him as they do for the Knight. Okay? So first of all, the message is that you are able to control your feelings on this day. You're able to control your passions, so you don't really have an excuse to bunk off or to go running off just because you feel something is so important, okay? You're able to manage that. That's the first thing. The second thing is that there may be some information that comes in today that takes you from being a knight and that helps you to grow up and that turns you into the king. There may be some event or some experience that you discover on this day that teaches you this self-discipline. So it may be that you absolutely have a desire to do something crazy. It works out very badly. You end up losing a whole ton of money. And you realize that you can't just do things like that on a whim. You have to do your research, and you can't just recklessly jump into every passion without looking what you're jumping into. So that is another possible interpretation, that there's information or some sort of experience to do with money which forces you to grow up and which forces you to say, I can't keep doing this like that, because I'll have negative things happening in my finances and I'll drive myself to ruin if I'm this reckless and if I just listen to my feelings all the time. Now, the Herald of Pentacles I also see as Mercury, the planet Mercury, communication. So if you are a creative type, if you're a writer, if you're a sculptor, if you're an artist, if you're an architect, a jewelry designer, a fashion designer, work with your passion today, work with your talent, work with your gift. The Herald of Pentacles may be giving you inspiration from the gods, from the heavens, and the ideas may flow. And rather than just being an amateur fashion designer or an amateur artist, this information, this heralded message that has come into your consciousness on this day could be exactly what you need to break through and to turn from an amateur artist into a professional artist. You create your masterpiece, you create the work that will cause you to break through and really become known in the public as the artist that you are. So there are several meanings to this, but all of these interpretations here are very, very positive. It's all about you growing, okay? It's all about you becoming more disciplined and gaining power over your feelings and not letting your feelings govern you and determine what happens to you. The Knight and the King and the Herald, they're all court cards. So the number is 3. And 3 in numerology is about new beginnings. And it's about expression, communication, and getting what's inside of you out. So that final interpretation that I did seems to really resonate with the number here of 3. So if you are a creative type, please express yourself today. Please put some time aside to work on your creative gifts and talents. This herald is really, really going to bring something to you, and you will feel much more knowledgeable, much more informed, much more professional, and much more certain of your own gifts and talents at the end of this day than you felt going into the day. So it's a wonderful day of personal change, development, and growth. The only problem I've got is that the Knight is a lot more attractive than the King. But that's really irrelevant. So, okay, so that is what I get for you on this day. I hope you have a wonderful day. If you would like a private reading with me, I do personal private readings. If you would like a private reading to have a look at what your vocational aptitudes are, or what your life purpose is here on planet Earth, or what's coming up for you in 2017 in your career or your money or your friendships or your love life or spirituality, whatever area you're interested in, just get in touch with me via the website gregoryscott.com. Click on the readings tab to order your reading. If you like my videos and you'd like to support me, then the easiest way of doing that is to just click on that subscribe button. I'd be ever so grateful. And I'll speak to you tomorrow.